Part 2. Regardless of which translations are correct, the real point of Genesis 6:4 is that there were several very different species of beings present on the earth, and that they were all on earth at the same time. In just this one verse we have at least 4 distinct groups mentioned. To review, they were: 1. The Nephilim, 2. The sons of the Elohim, 3. The Adamites, and their daughters, and 4. The Gibborim. But where did they all come from? And how were they related to us and each other? To be clear, neither Genesis 6:4, nor Numbers 13:33, nor any other place in the Bible explains the exact origin of the Nephilim. The book of Genesis is meticulous about tracing the genealogies of the descendants of Adam and Noah, all the families of the earth, as they spread throughout the world. Yet nowhere among their descendants can be found the Nephilim. That possibly means the Nephilim were separate from the descendants of Adam. That they were descendants of someone other than Adam. A separate and distinct breed existing on the earth at the same time as the Adamites. That may also presuppose the existence of species or civilizations before Adam, sometimes referred to as pre-Adamites. As for the Beni Elohim, it seems very apparent the sons of the Elohim were probably not of this earth. That they came from elsewhere. Perhaps from another planet in our solar system. Or instead from an entirely different solar system. So what about the Gibborim? The Gibborim are clearly described as the offspring of the Beni Elohim and the daughters of Adam. They were therefore a mixed breed. Hybrids who were partly of earth, and partly otherworldly. So here we have 4 very different groups, all present on the earth at the same time. And some seemingly coexisting together in the same community. The Adamites, Beni Elohim, and Gibborim all closely connected in their own ways. But what about the Nephilim? Despite being mentioned in the same verse, it is unclear how much interaction the Nephilim had with the others. They may have likewise coexisted with them, or instead lived separately. And if there was any interaction, it might not have been entirely peaceful. Numbers 13:33 may shed some light on that matter. The next question we need to ask is, if these 4 groups did indeed coexist on the earth at the same time, then why can't we find proof in the fossil record? Many believe the elongated skull people of Paracas, Peru, and other curious skeletal finds around the world, to be proof of some of those other groups. But proof of which? The Nephilim? The Beni Elohim? Or maybe the Gibborim? But even if they are proof of any, what about the others? We know that other species of humans have lived on Earth before modern humans. We have fossil proof of species like the Neanderthals, Denisovans, and Cro-Magnons. Some of them coinhabiting Earth alongside modern humans, as recently as 30,000 years ago. Can any of them fit into Genesis 6:4? The Neanderthals were indeed more muscular than modern humans, so they might be a good match for the Gibborim, the mighty men. But the Neanderthals were not necessarily taller than modern humans. In fact, some were shorter than us. The Denisovans on the other hand appear to have been much larger than modern humans. The Denisovan tooth found in the Siberian cave is twice as large as an average human tooth. That might imply that Denisovans were up to twice as large as modern humans. Which could make Denisovans a good candidate for the beings Genesis 6:4 calls Nephilim, if we accept Nephilim's definition as giants. The Cro-Magnons were actually a subspecies of modern humans, and not much different from us. Except for the fact they were a few inches taller, stood more erect, and had slightly larger brain capacity than us. They seem to have long ago assimilated into the modern human gene pool. But when they existed as a distinct breed, they must have appeared to us like the mighty men, or Gibborim. As for the Adamites themselves, and their daughters, it should be safe to assume they refer to modern humans, and most of us today who are descended from them. So to rephrase Genesis 6:4 a little differently. There were Denisovans in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of the Elohim came in unto the daughters of the Adamites, and they bare children to them, the same became the Cro-Magnons which were of old, men of renown. There are obviously so many other ways to interpret Genesis 6:4. So many different ways to tweak those various terms and phrases. The debate will probably go on forever. We would have to trace all translations of that verse back to their earliest and original language. And for all we know, that original version could have been lost long ago. It all comes down to who the original author of that verse was, and what he originally intended to say.